I would love to bring out, guys, put your hands together, give a big Google welcome for Ed Robertson, Kevin Hearn, Jim Cregan, and Tyler Stewart from the Barenaked Ladies.
Oh, keep it going for Adam, everybody. That's Adam.
You need to refer to us as your highnesses now, because we're royalty, right?
I gotta admit, I met Adam only a short time ago. I didn't realize what you were capable of. That was incredible. Adam, everybody, Google that guy. He's going places. Guy's amazing.
He'll be back up later.
Yeah, can't wait. We were shining like Aurora Borealis, like Sid sipping from the Stanley Chalice, balling in a bus across the USA, dumb enough to think that it would stay that way. Lounging in the living room in long johns, more distant than Victoria to St. John's, trying to use a record to repair my heart. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to start again. My friend, you're leaving me high and Canada dry. I'm out of your head and I'm losing my mind. Listening to Neil is making me cry. You're leaving me high and Canada dry. Sinking like a Saskatoon sunset, thinking that we had it from the outset. Tommy said that life was a highway, dear, but I became the roadkill when you oversteered. Oh why, oh why? You're leaving me high and Canada dry. I'm out of your head and I'm losing my mind. Listening to Joni's making me cry. You're leaving me high, Canada dry. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, da, da. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, da, da. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, da. You fled the snow while I stayed here. I'll let you know, I'll make it clear how happy I appear. High and Canada dry. I'm out of your head and I'm losing my mind. Listening to Gord is making me cry. You're leaving me high. You're leaving me high. You're leaving me high and Canada dry. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, da, da. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, da, da. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, da. High and Canada dry. Thank you. That's a song we wrote with Adam.
That's from our new record called Fake Nudes.
Just how wired up is this room? Is it? It's all right. I just want to try something. Okay, Google, activate emergency services. Nothing?
Not that wired up, apparently.
You guys got to implement that shit.
Okay, Google, tune Ed's guitar.
This is another one from Fake Nudes. It's called Bringing It Home. It's not a Cinderella story. It's not an overnight success where everybody expects unlikely outcomes and I'm just somewhere in the mess. It's not an underdog sensation or a movie of the week. Anybody involved from the beginning knows it's not just a lucky streak. We're bringing it home forever after. It's in our bones. Hey, stay at the house 'cause we're bringing it home. Oh, we raised the rafters. We made room. Hey, we backed it up and we're bringing it home. It's not a simple rite of passage where you just follow every step. Somebody took every single road map and there just wasn't any left. So we found our own direction, made our way to everyone. And now I look back on every misstep and wonder how we got it done. But we're bringing it home forever after. It's in our bones. Hey, stay at the house 'cause we're bringing it home. Oh, we raised the rafters. We made room. Hey, we backed it up and we're bringing it home. Yeah, I'm the quickest of the fast straws, licking, making slack jaws. Last of the last straws, slip until the ice saw. Swimming when it's ice cold, dreaming with the big bowl. Waving, never weaving, put the life in the lifesaver. Never ever let down, good to get down. Freaking like I'm P.D., I'm gonna make you my clown. All's well that ends well, glad like I'm glad well. Days off of days and I put my 10 days in. Forever after, it's in our bones. Hey, stay at the house 'cause we're bringing it home. Oh, we raised the rafters. We made room. Hey, stay at the house 'cause we're bringing it home. Oh, forever after, it's in our bones. Stay at the house 'cause we're bringing it home. Oh, we raised the rafters. We made room. Hey, stay at the house 'cause we're bringing it home. Bring it home. We packed it up and we're bringing it home. Thank you. Speaking of royalty, Royal Woods back there. Hi, Royal, how are you? Royal won a contest to be here today. They said, Royal, who are your biggest heroes? And who would you like to see in an office building? They said, Royal, who's nominated for this year's Hall of Fame Awards and still plays in an office building on Richmond Street?
Let this be an inspiration to you, Royal.
It never stops. This is what you're currently striving for. Seems like just yesterday we opened the Buns Master Bakery in the Scarborough Town Center. How far we've come.
I'm just going to correct that. It was the Open Window Bakery.
Oh, you're right.
You know, Buns Master, they had to stop making bread because of their name. What with the mainstreaming of porn, I mean, there was a lot of confusion. People Google Buns Master.
The domain name was already registered. It's all in a name, a domain name, I mean. We're Barenaked Ladies and we're live on the scene at 111 Richmond, having a good time. The people of Google are here and they're all friends of mine. This room is all wired up so you can say, okay, Google. It will tell you anything. You can use your noodle, you can get the things you want, like the lights turned down. Or if you want some music, okay, Google, play some sounds. That's all you have to say to get this done. We're Barenaked Ladies, and we are the only one who will be playing in this building today and later on. Be inducted to the Hall of Fame, and then we'll be gone.
Buns, 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 master buns, buns.
Okay, Google.
Buns, master buns, buns.
Okay, Google.
Buns, master buns.
Okay, okay, Google, yep.
Buns, master
Yep.
buns.
Okay, Google, go.
Buns,
Yep.
master buns.
Okay, Google. Yep.
Get fresh every day.
Yeah. Okay, Google, upload that to the Google Play Store. This is a song that was on our very first release, which came out in 1908. It was originally a player piano reel.
Funny thing is, Google's headquarters were here then, except they were in a saloon.
That's right. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We never really knew each other anyway. Took me a year to believe it was over. It took me 2 more to get over the loss. I took a beating when you wrote me those letters. And every time I remembered the taste of your lip gloss. Come on, Enid, we never really knew each other anyway. Enid, we never really knew each other anyway. Baby, we always saw right through each other anyway. But Enid, we never really knew each other anyway. There were times when I wanted to hurt you. There were times when I know that I did. There were times when I thought I might kill you. But can you blame me? I was only a kid. Tell me why we never really respected each other. Tell me why I never believed that you were a person too. I always thought that you fancied my brother. I may not have liked it, oh, but memory is a strange thing. Oh, Enid, I remember you. Enid, we never really knew each other anyway. Enid, we never really knew each other anyway. Baby, we always saw right through each other anyway. But Enid, we never really knew each other anyway. Took me a year to believe it was over. Oh, ooh, ooh, and it took me 2 more to get over the loss. Oh, I took a beating when you wrote me those letters. And every time you told me to get lost. It's not fair to say that it's 'cause I was 3 inches shorter then. It's not fair to say that it's 'cause I was only 15 years old. Well, maybe it's fair to say there was a lack of communication. I took a phone message, oh, and speaking of communication, oh, Enid, you're kinda cold. I can get a job, I could pay the phone bills, I could cut the lawn, cut my hair, cut my cholesterol. I could work overtime, I could work in a mine, I could do it all for you. I don't want to. Enid, we never
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look, we are so good that woman had a baby.
Don't wake the baby. Security, have her removed.
But leave the baby with us.
I hate when people hate when babies are around.
You like on airplanes or something?
Yeah.
Or
It's like,
restaurants?
oh, who would travel with a child? I was going to sleep, and then a human being came. I hate when they're small.
I arrived on this earth at age 50 and grumpy.
Oh, how dare that woman feed her tiny human?
Isn't there a bathroom you can do that? No, that's where people piss. I'm not feeding my child in the bathroom.
You didn't think it was going to get political, did you, Google?
Holy smokes.
Whatever you need to do with your baby is okay with us. We love that you're here. We love that your baby is here. And we hope your baby will grow up to never have any recollection of this moment.
It's the adults we don't like.
I'd much rather be on the plane full of babies than have one plane with one guy who hates that there's a baby on a plane.
That's going to be on a rider now. Yeah, 26 are a Jack Daniels and a baby.
This song was written for babies, but
It's a great combination.
yeah.
Called Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Oh, no, wait a second.
Oh, yeah.
You started.
Oh, that means I sing.
Yeah.
Holy, I'm counting myself in. That's really ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, Kev has to know too, though.
Oh, yeah, Kev sings too. Yeah, I've forgotten everything with all this baby talk. I've reverted.
Should I start with you guys or just let it run?
You start whenever you want, Jim.
Okay.
That worked great. I think to have you solo just out there with it, that was cool.
That was cool. Okay. Ready? 1, 2.
That's it.
1, 2. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Knocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me. Say, get that together, come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I realized it's not my fault, but couldn't tell you yesterday. You've forgiven me, but it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry.
Holding I'm a muscle hoodwink, cause I make you stop think. You think you're looking at Aquaman. Summer fish to the dish, although I like chalices, I like the sushi. Never touch a frying pan, hot like wasabi when I bust rhymes. Big like the ant rhymes. So I'm all about value. Bert Camford's got the mad hits. Trying to match wits. Trying to hold me, but I bust through. Gonna make a break and take a fig. I like a stinking nigga check. I like vanilla. It's the finest of the flavors. See the show, cause then you know the vertigo is gonna go. Cause it's so dangerous, you like Sana Weaver. Can't help it if I think you're funny when you're mad. Trying hard not to smile, though I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what I mean, well, you soon will. Have a tendency to wear my mind on my sleeve. Have a history of taking off my shirt.
1 week since you looked at me. Threw your arms in the air and said you're crazy. 5 days since you tackled me. I still got the reverence on both my knees. It's been 3 days since the afternoon. I realize that's not my fault, but a moment too soon. Yesterday, you've forgiven me. Now sit back and wait till you say you're sorry.
China, the Chinese chicken. Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. Yeah, the drumstick ring stops sticking. Watching X-Files and no lights on. Weird on the maison. Swinging minutes when the Harrison Ford. I'm getting frantic like Sting and Pin Trick. Sting is guaranteed to satisfy. Like Kurosawa, I make mad films. You can't make films. Did they have a samurai? Gonna get a set of better comes on around the camera. Tiny enough to so irons on orange. Flying off the backswing. Head into me selling moon. Cause I got tunas, got the boom. And I may be. So maybe think the wrong thing. Can't help it if I think you're funny when you're mad. Trying hard not to smile, though I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. understand what I mean, but you soon will. Have a tendency to wear my mind on my sleeve. Have a history of tears on my shirt. 1 week since you looked at me. Dropped your arm to the side and said I'm sorry. 5 days since I laughed at you and said you just did just what I thought you were gonna do. 3 days since the living room. I realized we're both to blame, but what could we do? Yesterday you just smiled at me, cause it'll still be 2 days till we say we're sorry. It'll still be 2 days till we say we're sorry. Still be 2 days till we say we're sorry. Bertrand Stadium, home of the Robbie. Thank you.
We'll be back in a minute.
How do you guys find levity in that current situation and decide, like, we're going to take this situation and turn it into a fun album?
Well, I think that humor is a big part of the way we've always dealt with everything. But, you know, all of our records have currents of seriousness through them, and I think this record's no exception. But it was very strange for us to see the American president, current president, pick up on the name of our record and then do a little word play on it and start using the term
That was really big for you
fake
guys.
news. I mean, I thought that's great publicity for us, but it's weird the way he's attacking.
It was
media.
bittersweet.
It's easy to sort of be paralyzed by the doom and gloom and constant barrage of things going on, but we decided we would like to be a counter to that. And we've been feeling that at our shows, especially in the USA. People are coming to our shows for a moment of just relief.
Respite.
Yes.
And so you mentioned that there's a vein of seriousness in there. Is this like a well-guised protest album, or is this collectively you four like rolling your eyes and just being like, all right, we gotta have fun?
Well, the name also of the album, besides the, associated political stuff, is it's actually true.
You're fake news?
We're fake nudes. We're
Most of the
ladies.
time.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many times did we get asked when we were, there you guys, there's no ladies and you're not naked. You're 4 guys.
This is the worst strip club ever.
Yeah, exactly. So, the name, we're finally calling our own bluff and saying, yep, we tricked you.
30 years later, that's a long setup.
And I think, I don't know if, the name just kind of came up when we were 18, but Sam the American Eagle did mention Barenaked in one of his speeches. So really, it kind of comes full circle.
Sam the American Eagle, of course, is a popular Muppet character from the Muppet Show from 1981.
Half of our employees are like 22, so they have no idea what the Muppets are.
All right.
I do, but they don't.
Adam, Ed suggested the name of the record early on into the recording process, and it was just one of those times where it happened easily and made sense. And so usually we wait till after the record's done and then figure out what it's called, but this time we knew.
I love the humorous streak, and humor is in general something you guys are really well known for. Do you think that without that you could have lasted as long as you did? Like if your like stage persona was more serious, could you have gone for 30 years hanging out with each other?
I don't think we could have gone 30 years without making each other laugh. I think that's kind of the first thing that got us through.
I'm going on 29 years, though, of not making these guys laugh, so just so you know.
We keep trying, and that's what's matters.
Keep swinging for the fence.
The other side of the coin, of course, is if there weren't good songs and well-crafted music, I think the laughter stuff would have become quite tiresome.
I think the critics across Canada and America would be quite happy if we weren't humorous, because it's always like, Canadian joke band, Barenaked Ladies. What are they doing singing the anthem at the NBA All-Star game? And it's not really, we're known for our humor, but you also remember the songs. We take it very seriously, and, darn it, we taste good.
Tyler acts funny in public, but he's not funny.
He's a moody, serious person.
Well, and
somewhat
take the
depressing.
anthem, for instance. When we wrote that, Nobody thought that'd be a hit.
They sing it at every game.
Yeah. Now they sing it
Only
at
the gold
every
medals.
sporting
And
event.
when we changed the lyrics 2 weeks ago, people were really happy.
They were so angry.
Oh.
I hate when things are inclusive. Stop it.
And I'm going home to talk to thy sons.
I will write a strongly worded letter to someone about this.
Thy
thing.
sons.
It's amazing how angry people were that we sang Canada's official anthem at the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's
People were angry. If you're watching right now and you're angry, you're an idiot. An idiot. A stone cold idiot.
Idiot guy.
The response being, no, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
and probably those words exactly.
Back and forth and back and forth.
So controversy is something you guys are actually like not at all strangers to. Like some of your big break comes back to controversy over your name in an original show at Mel Assman Square.
It was actually at Nathan Phillips Square.
Phillips Square.
Just down the street from here. We were booked to play the New Year's Eve show, which was a city-sponsored event. And the name Robertson was considered offensive at the time.
I'm offended.
And so I guess there was a lot of anti-Scottish sentiment at that time in the early 90s.
It's a dark period in our nation's
period.
history.
You're not really the son of Robert.
Dad's name is Jim.
Yeah. So we were asked to drop out of the gig, which we did, and we just went and did another gig. And then we got really lucky. About a week later, nothing else happened in the world. And so somebody reported this story. It actually was a week after New Year's. And Jim Slotek, I think, from The Sun.
The Sun first.
And then from that, other media outlets picked it up and it ended up on the front cover of the Star, the national paper. So we, as a little band from Toronto, went from selling 400 cassettes a week to selling 14,000 cassettes a week. Yes, cassettes.
A cassette is a small plastic device that housed cellulose tape.
And it rewinds when you put your pen in one of the holes.
Your
and spin
pen.
it.
When you put your pen in it.
Very important to note that.
Yeah.
Actually, that brings up something that I did want to talk to you guys about. You've been around since the days of cassettes. Then you saw music media change drastically from cassettes where you got your start and then CDs. You actually released an album on USB stick. How cool is that?
Not very.
Not anymore.
Yeah, because it was last week. It was not. But how does the medium change the way you guys think about an album, or does it? Do you write for the same whether it's going to be streamed or someone's going to like buy a physical medium and hold it and treasure it?
Yeah, we certainly don't make music thinking about how people are going to get it. We write songs because we're trying to communicate ideas, we're trying to express something, but the landscape has so radically changed from a time when people used to line up to buy vinyl or a CD to a time when, a month before we've released the record, most people already have it because it was leaked at some point and digitally it's gone all over the place. I love the one side of that in that as a music fan and a consumer of with a voracious appetite for new music, I'm always checking stuff out, streaming it, going to the website of a band, downloading stuff. I love the convenience of it. I love being able to have my music library in my pocket wherever I go. That's awesome. But it's made it tough as artists because that thing we do no longer has a perceived value. Even though we all have these fantastic devices, ostensibly for media. I mean, I know we use them for a lot of communication, but
Mostly looking at cat pictures, I think.
but a lot of what people do is watch movies and listen to music, and there's way more people listening to music now than ever in history. But it's a lot harder to make a living as a musician. We're lucky. Like, I say this on behalf of younger acts. You know, we were at our height when the record industry was at its height, so we sold a ton of records. We built a huge fan base. So now, you know, every year we can go out and tour, and we play for 100,000 people every summer in a matter of a couple weeks. So we're fine. But it'd be really tough to try and start out as an artist right now. You would have to find all kinds of alternate ways to make it work. So, you know, I envy the tools that emerging artists have at their fingertips, whether that be a very amazing home studio, right, that's included in your laptop. If you know,
That guy's got a great studio right there.
Yeah, right there. Everything you need to make a high quality record is sitting on your lap.
He's making it right now with his mind.
But you know, the flip side of that is there's so much noise that it's really tough to cut through all that.
Now, you mentioned that you came to your peak when the industry was at its peak, but it wasn't always friendly to you guys, right? Like you got rejected by every label. I don't want to drag up old wounds, but you got a lot of no's, and you hustled your own start, selling your own tapes, out of off the stage and to your friends.
We were mentioning humor before, and the humor actually made it challenging for us to get support from radio stations, especially in the USA, because it was easy for them to write us off as a novelty group. So we had to keep going down there. I guess we were down there, 6-7 months a year, building the audience. Every time we went back, we'd go from a club, then the bigger club, then the next time the theater. Eventually, the radio stations came on board, and
But we were selling out arenas in America before Stunt came out. The band had done so much legwork. It's like we built a following one person at a time, because we really didn't have any kind of major media support or even label support until after Rock Spectac. Then I think at that point we had actually played for everyone in the record company at some point, and they'd all gotten on board, and we became like the darling of the label. Everybody liked us, but we hadn't really gotten anywhere. So the company really rallied behind us, and then Stunt came out and debuted at number 2 or 3 in America, and everything changed.
and now we're re-releasing Stunt on vinyl, and
I'm
it's
hoping for the same thing.
it's never it's never been on vinyl before, because vinyl went away for a while.
So why do you think it is that the industry thought for so long, like, you can't be funny and be a musician?
Well, I think the Beatles
That's why?
got them really sick of having humor in music.
These guys hold a
Beastie Boys,
grudge for a long time.
Well, they hated the Beastie Boys and Beck. I mean, they didn't like them.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh,
I
wait,
think
they
people
did.
were looking for a reason to dismiss us, and humor was the reason they chose.
It
Gotcha.
was either the humor or the shorts we wore for 10 years.
It's a pants
another
mandatory
reason.
industry,
Yeah,
Tyler.
mandatory pants. Things started to
understand.
look up.
And to be fair, we were idiots. We never once went into a radio station or a television show or anything we did. We were always idiots because we were having a great time and we were just being silly. And I don't think we did ourselves any favors of trying to go, oh no, but check out the record. There's a lot of really serious material on the record. I don't blame people for having written us off, because we sort of made them, right?
You were just like, here's another microphone, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Be yourself at all costs, kind of, like we were those kind of guys. And it's just, we weren't interested in putting a facade on or being the coolest guys in the room, or,
Even though we were.
Yeah. Clearly. Still are.
And how did that inform how you guys would, let's say, give advice to a young artist about building their career in this, it's a very different industry, but you guys struggled to build your success and had this be yourself at all cost attitude?
Well, I think playing live was the biggest thing that we still carry through, and I think that's one thing that a young artist should always do is just keep, really be good to each other if you're a band, and carry through and rub each other.
Here's where the name came from.
Yeah, and I think because even more now than ever, playing live and creating, being present to your fans is more important, and it's the thing that lasts through as things change technologically. And
it's the thing you can control. The only thing we ever
really,
can control in our career is what kind of a show we put on. I mean, you were in here in this room and we played music, and it sounded pretty good, and you liked it. That's what happens everywhere we play. So if you have that up your sleeve, it's a lot easier than trying to sell an image or an idea or even a record.
You did like it.
Hey, just checking. 'Cause I don't want to take Tyler's word for it.
But here's another secret about music is, yes, it's difficult to become a big success in the music industry, but it doesn't matter because it's really fun to make music, and I would be making music still, whether I was in this successful rock band or not, because we all make music because it's what we love to do. It's our passion, and you can follow that passion. If you want to pursue music, you can do that. At some point, maybe you have to reassess and
maybe you have to get a real job, but you can do it on the
maybe.
side.
But when I talk to kids who are trying to make a go of it as a band, I never say, well, it's tough, so have something to fall back on. I would never say that. I would say, it's tough. Go for it.
Yeah, make
Go
it
for it
plan
with
A.
everything, because it's the most rewarding thing you could ever do. But set yourself a horizon, and reassess at some point.
You're a little more tongue-in-cheek than that. Usually you say, yeah, don't have something to fall back on.
I do. And I say drop out of school immediately, because I did, and I'm a millionaire.
Life advice from Ed Robertson.
Especially if you're mediocre on your instrument like I am.
Oh, this is like never see how a hot dog is made. This is behind the scenes. This is behind the music. Don't give it all away, man.
I've seen how hot dogs are made. I've been in the factory. Still love hot dogs.
So this whole idea of do what you love, you'll never work another day. If you had to, though, do you guys think you could work like a desk job and come and be like office schmuck?
Fuck
with us,
no.
or- yeah. You're totally unemployable at this point.
Absolutely.
I spent a lot of time volunteering at my local school, and I found I had to learn a new job every time. Like, I had to learn how to make 800 pancakes one morning, 400 sausages. I had to.
That's the same job, technically,
Okay.
Jim. That's cooking.
flipping.
That's a
gardening.
Yeah.
Gardening. I had to learn how to garden. I don't know. I feel like I will do what it needs to do. I think that as
So
as
Jim
a
is
musician,
employable.
What's that?
Jim is
the only
employable.
employable guy.
I'm putting
Jim would've
myself
been
out
fine.
there.
The rest of you
You guys
stuck
got
around for
pancakes,
your sake.
gardening.
Jim, why do you
Good.
feel you're the right person for those jobs?
But I think
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
I just think when you play music, one thing that happens is you get to work with other people, and you have to accomplish something, and you have to answer to an audience, and I think that's just good training for anything, really.
It's
Like
including the next
accountancy.
moment,
Yeah.
where I think we should answer to the audience.
Oh, hi.
Hi. First of all, my father-in-law from Musselburgh, Scotland, says hello.
Ah,
Yeah,
From what town?
Musselburgh, just outside of-
Musselburgh. Aye, everyone's got muscles. Right, there's strong people over there in Musselburgh. I'm from Fat Town. It's just to the south of that place.
You reacted exactly how I hoped you would.
He's going to wonder why you're speaking to him with a Pakistani accent. Didn't you tell him I was from Scotland?
You're welcome.
I can't
Ian.
speak in Fat Town.
The Scottish leg of your next tour has been canceled.
And you were saying,
Yeah, so hello to Ian.
hello.
The other question, so we put out a Dory, which is where people can submit questions, and we had a couple questions about music recommendations. So we have a lot of expats in this office. Raise your hand if you're not from Canada or didn't grow up with Barenaked Ladies. So lots of folks who are new to Canadian music. So including Barenaked Ladies, if you could give a new Canadian like a must-know list of music, what would that be?
Are we talking current or of all time?
Canon.
Well,
everything.
go Bruce Cockburn first. It's not Bruce Cockburn, and that's the first thing you got to know. It's really, it's like my wife. She's from the U.S. and she came up and she says, "How come everybody calls him Bruce Cockburn? It's spelled Bruce Cockburn."
It's a silent CK.
Anyways, that's a little, inside story for new Canadians. It's Cockburn. But
Joni
he's one of
Mitchell?
our favorite musicians.
Joni Mitchell, I'd say.
I'd recommend an album called Coke Machine Glow by Gord Downie.
Yes, for sure. I would say the second Sloan album, Twice Removed, is a good record. I would say Rush. But if you're not from Canada, you know who Rush is, really, right? So we should be going a little
Only
more
if you're
off-
really into
Our Johnny Cash, who would be Stompin' Tom Connors.
Yep, definitely.
That would be a good Canadian choice.
Or Gordon Lightfoot, man.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Listen to some Gordon Lightfoot. Gord's gold.
Yep.
Bob Dylan has often said that Gordon Lightfoot is his favorite songwriter.
Sarah Harmer. Check
Yep.
her out. She's amazing.
Little Fire, that record. Is that what it's
Oh,
called?
Little Fire.
Oh,
yeah,
Little
yeah.
Fire.
Sarah McLachlan. There you go. She's great
McLachlan.
too. Oh, the Sarahs. Sarah Stills and Nash. They're like this super trio.
For modern Canadian music, listen to Bahamas. Listen to Alan Doyle. Listen to Donovan Woods.
City in Color.
City in Color for sure.
Yep.
Skydigger's new record is nice.
Yeah, Feist.
Yep.
Leslie Feist.
Yeah.
Metric.
Yeah. Check
Emily
the Broken
Hayes.
Social Scene. And finally, the Beatles.
They're from Omemee, Ontario. Or Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Thanks for the question.
So
That's all we have time for.
All right,
Adam,
there we
thank
go.
you.
open the Pandora's box of musicians' favorite musicians. We could be here for eons.
I'd rather open a, what's the small thing called you talk to?
Cookie.
You're
I'd
gonna have to
rather
give us
open a
more-
Google
spider.
a Google Home box. I'm just trying to be brand friendly and shit. Jesus. Corporatism is my first foot through the door.
Excellent corporate sponsors. So you guys have done, is it like 1,500 shows over the years?
We've done 1,500 shows this year.
1,501 now.
Yeah.
I would assume at this point you guys all have like a PhD in hotel stays. So I want to know each of your Barenaked Ladies hotel stay top tip for all the business travelers.
Okay, this is honestly my top hotel tip. Doesn't matter what city you're going to or the reason you're going there, get out of the hotel. Eating at a hotel restaurant, no matter how spectacular, is a failure. When you get into a town, Google best restaurant. This is what I do in every town, regardless of how many times I've been there. I Google top 5 farm to table Minneapolis. And then I look at the reviews because the reviews are always manipulated.
Yeah.
So I look for those. And I figure it out, and I text all these guys and say, hey, I got a reservation for 4 tonight at this place. This is what it's called. Let me know if you want to join me. And then I also Google best coffee roastery. And so you have to do that in it doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter how well you think you know the city. It is a failure to stay in your hotel room. Even if you have a ton of work to do, Google what is cool around you, get out and see it and do it, and then come back to your hotel room.
And
Eating in the
worked out too in the
hotel
morning.
is a failure.
That's what I do. Speaking of Google Maps, it changed the way I tour. So what I'll do is I'll look and I'll find the closest bike lane. You know, on Google Maps you can find the bike lane. And then I just go there and I get to walk through the city. And it changed the way I tour. Because usually I get stuck and I don't know where I'd be.
Cyclists everywhere hate Jim Cregan.
dragging his
Walking
double
on their
bass
bike path.
down the bike lane.
After you do what Ed said and get out and here's something you don't do. Don't come back to your hotel room, strip naked, roll around and lick the bread spread. Don't do that.
Huge mistake we made early on. We were always sick.
Yeah, we're sick a lot.
Kevin?
I'm good.
So much comedy gold, he doesn't want to wade into these waters. It's shark infested.
I was going to say Ed texts us, and then that's when we go and rob his room.
Do terrible things to his bedspread and then go to dinner. It's amazing. So you guys are being inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame this year. Huge milestone. Are there any mixed emotions about that? Like thinking that's the kind of thing that old guys get, and like,
What are you trying to say?
You're old, Ed. You're old. No, are there any mixed emotions about like attaining those goals? When you start out as like a bunch of teenagers, with a tape that you put together yourselves, and then you're always striving for something, and then you get it. At this point, is there any worry like, oh man, this is a big thing that usually comes at the end of people's career? And I know you guys are always a very forward-thinking band.
Well, there wasn't a lot of worry about that, and
Good luck with that acceptance speech.
but now,
Oh yeah. Now that you
I'm really
mention it,
fucking
man.
bummed out.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for
felt
bringing us
honored
down,
and
man.
excited, and now I just feel like old.
-9 on the vibe meter, Adam.
Alex.
No, you know what? It's so exciting, and for us, it's coming at a moment where the band is really feeling great. We just did the most extensive Canadian tour we've done in almost 20 years. We loved it. We had a great time together, and we were all feeling good about not just the new record, but we were putting old stuff into the set list that we hadn't played in a long, long time, and we had a ton of fun with it. And then, we released 2 records last year. We did a record with a cappella group, The Persuasions, called Ladies and Gentlemen. We loved that. Then we put out Fake Nudes, and we just kind of felt like everything was going great, and the band was in a really good place. And then we got this news that we're going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So I don't know, it just came at a perfect time for the band, where we weren't resting on the laurels of our career. We have been pushing forward, and after the Junos this year, we had already planned a UK tour, and we have an extensive American tour in June and July. So
Now we don't need to do it.
cancel
Mic
those,
drop,
Allison.
leave.
Thank you. We're Hall of Famers now. We don't need to tour.
So is it now freeing? Like, are there other goals that you want to tick off, or now is it just like, let's just go and have fun, and like our spot in the Hall of Fame is literally there. We don't need to worry. We can do whatever the heck we want.
Well, we still want to make good music. I mean, our goal always has been to make good records and do good shows, and we've never wavered from. That's kind of our compass. We're trying to do the best shows we can do. We're trying to write good songs. We're trying to make good records, and we've been super lucky. We've had some really big singles. We've won a bunch of awards. And now the Hall of Fame. But all of that has come from kind of pursuing this compass needle of like just trying to be good at what we do and take our craft seriously. And as I always say, as much as we joke around, we really take performance seriously, and we work hard on the music so that we can then goof around on the stage.
Excellent. Are there any other questions from the audience?
What about the baby? I want to take one question from the baby. Everybody be quiet. Just one question. No, shh. Just one question.
Where'd you get those shoes, man?
Well, baby, I'm glad you asked. Can I call you baby? You are a baby. You're such a baby. Just keep sleeping, you baby.
You didn't answer the question.
My son got me these shoes, actually. My son Arden is a total sneakerhead.
It's thy son.
Oh, sorry. All thy sons got thee,
All of us bought you those shoes.
thy sneakers.
Foot Locker, I think, is the answer.
Baby Foot Locker.
All right, guys. I think we're pretty much out of time.
Any questions for the room at all?
Yeah.
Anyone interested?
No,
Any
anyone?
questions we haven't answered?
We'll answer anything. Yes, sir. Next question.
Favorite group or person you've shared the stage with?
That's
for the
probably a
people on the
pretty
live
easy
stream.
answer.
Yeah.
Neil Young.
What?
Neil Young.
Neil Young, yeah. Twice we've got to do that. It's been amazing. Yeah, totally. Here's a great story about playing with Neil Young. We did a benefit called the Blue Dot, for the Blue Dot Foundation, David Suzuki's environmental organization. And Neil was on the show, and we all knew we were going to do the finale with him, but we thought we were just singing. But then in the rehearsal, in the sound check, he said, he turned to Jim and said, "Where's your big bass?"
I said, right over here.
And he went
Jim
and got
learned
it.
the song. He was ready.
I was ready. If that moment happened, I was going to be ready. And he said it. He called me out, and there it was.
And he said to me, "Get on those tubs, man." And you remember how fast Roadrunner could go? Like, that's how fast I got on the drums. And then we were playing the song. The vibe was happening. It's feeling really good. And he stopped us. And he said, "That's great. Don't give it away. We'll see you tonight." And sound check was over. We didn't even. So he wanted that energy.
We didn't even play through the song one time.
Not once. So that's sort of legendary Neil Young behavior, and we got to experience it.
Rock school.
And we did Neil's Bridge School benefit concert out in San Francisco one time. And it's one of the highlights of my life is to be playing this show. The kids from the school are on the stage. The audience at Shoreline Amphitheater is like 18,000 people. But you're performing for the kids. And you know, there's 2 shows in the day. The lineups are crazy because Neil Young organizes the bill. And he calls and it's like, oh, well, I guess this year it's going to be Bruce Springsteen, Sarah McLachlan, REM, Barenaked Ladies. And, you know, that's a bill for a show. And everybody plays acoustically. And Neil says, if there's any instruments plugged in, I'll come out there and I'll unplug them myself. No amplifiers. This is an acoustic show. But for me, the glorious part of that whole thing was Neil standing on the side of the stage watching our show and just beaming. You know, I learned to play the guitar to play Old Man and all these songs off Harvest so my older brothers would think I was cool. And there I was, you know, playing for a crowd, playing for kids, but playing for Neil, standing on the side of the stage. We got to go to a barbecue at his house. And, you know, Neil's house is, first of all, amazing. And we're walking around and just the knickknacks around his house is like a rock and roll museum. And Neil came in and said, "Are you guys okay? You got everything you need?" And I said, "Neil, I hope you don't mind. We're pretty big fans, so I've pocketed a few things just as a reminder." And he didn't even skip a beat. He just said, "Do you want a gym bag or something?" He's amazing. So the easy answer, Neil Young.
Second place close, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister at Massey Hall. 2 years ago, we did We're Not Gonna Take It, and it was the most rock and roll moment we've all experienced in our lives.
Alan Doyle was standing backstage, and after it happened, he said, "That is one of the top 5 musical moments of my life, and I wasn't even involved."
That's amazing. I can't think of a better note to end on. Thank you so much for coming into Google, guys, for the conversation and for the album.
Thanks to the baby.
The real hero of the day.
Thank you, baby.
If anyone would like a photo with the baby, just speak to his agent. Her agent. Her agent, sorry. Baby.
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, baby.